Namaste, welcome. I hope this video finds you well. When we embark on this spiritual quest, when we do self-inquiry and meditate, we all eventually meet at the same place. What we sometimes refer to as emptiness, nothingness, beingness. This place where all words cease, and nothing can describe it. And although it is our most natural state, so completely effortless, unless we have experienced it, it can be very hard to imagine, and even scary from the perspective of ego. Because where there is nothingness and emptiness, ego cannot survive. And for such a long time, we identify with our ego selves so strongly that we are afraid of what's going to happen. Who am I when it falls away? We also grow up in a world where words like emptiness or nothingness are laden with negative connotations, such as lack of, painful void, meaninglessness, worthlessness. So there's a natural rejection. How could these things be desirable? But the nothingness and emptiness we talk about in non-duality is very different from that. As it often is when we move from ego to true self, it's the exact opposite. It is where life truly begins, where all suffering ends, and we find eternal happiness. This is not an easy transition, because when we grow up, we are taught that all of life is about building up this ego, adding more and more things to it. Titles, achievements, definitions, and that our happiness depends on how well we do with that. Somehow we all agree that happiness means to realize ourselves. But this notion of self differs greatly depending from where we are looking. The ego can never be fully satisfied. It always feels that there is something lacking and it wants more. This is why no one from this perspective can find lasting happiness. And a lot of people feel frustrated and they resort to some form of intoxication or other distractions to numb the pain. The emptiness that ego feels is terrible. It is physically painful and can never be filled permanently. For a while we might think, if I get this job, if I make a lot of money, if I find the love of my life, have lots of fun experiences, that's gonna be happiness, and that's all I want. But wherever we are at, on this journey of a picture-perfect human life, there is always something lacking. We get bored easily and we want more. Somehow we all have to go through this experience in order to wake up to our true nature. But it is something that we really need to want 100%. We can achieve most other things in life with some effort and some commitment. But when it comes to realizing our true self, it requires our full attention and absolute commitment. And no one forces us to do that. It comes out of our own self. There will come a time when we see with such clarity, I've tried it all and nothing has worked for me. I'm still suffering, still alone, still afraid, still aimless. And this is where openness begins. We are ready to leave our well-treaded pathways and to step into the unknown. And we soon find that it is not unknown at all, but it is everything that we have been hankering for all our lives. And we find it in the most unexpected way, not by adding and accumulating, but by letting go, stripping away, becoming absolutely empty. So what is this emptiness like? Wherever you are, take a moment and be still. Listen to what is behind your thoughts that come and go. The sensations in the body, the identification as this or that. How feeble are these identifications? We have had so many over our lifetime, and they all changed. Who are you really? I might play the role of a father for a while, a mother, a teacher, an artist, a doer of a job I don't really like but that pays my bills, a dreamer of some greatness that never came, or that did come for a while but then lost its splendor. Who is behind all that? The experiencer of all of that. But who is that? None of these experiences could define him, because they all came and went. What is still here in the same way? Unchanged. Let's strip this sense of self back to its very essence, without any definition. To simply, I am, or even just am, being. Being has no shape or demarcation. All the things that the ego loves and needs so much to survive and to maintain its power. But being is more like a state. It's not confined to this body. It's in everything, all the beings. And at the same time, it is none of these things. Is this a paradox? Only for the mind. For the mind, two seemingly opposing things cannot exist at the same time. But beingness is not disturbed by that. why we appear in this human form for a while and experience life from this limited perspective, why we suffer. What does all of that mean for emptiness? Does emptiness suffer? Many things begin to become very clear when we start looking from behind ego and person. We can see that all of our experiences, good and bad, have brought us here today to discover a deeper sense of life and self, at the very least. A sense of peace that does not depend on anything, but is at the core of who we are. They reveal themselves to be aiding us on our journey of self-discovery, push us closer. And when we see everything that happens in life in this light as an opportunity rather than an obstacle, a lot of lightness will come. Grace can reveal itself more fully, and you will feel that your life begins to flow. There is an underlying current of warmth and benevolence. And based on these authentic experiences, not concepts in the mind, we fear less and trust more. And yes, there is only one way this will go. And no one can fail. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up, share it with anyone you think can benefit, and if you like, subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. All my love to you.